Good evening, everyone.
Hi everybody, we're tuning in live over here. We have a world-renowned speaker and everybody's invited to listen closely with all your undivided attention, and we hope that this will be a few words that will inspire you.
Amen. When we start, try right from the beginning. The purpose of this class or classes, God willing, is to bring out the practical day-to-day application of the Tanya, which was written by the Alter Rebbe as a result of the numerous questions in Avodas Hashem, in the service of Hashem, that he would ask, and some of them were repetitive or very similar. Mostly they touch certain issues in the Avodas Hashem, the struggle with the Yetzer Hara, all the issues the person feels in the daily life.
Hannah, can you please play outside, please?
And also they wish to...
Hannah, go downstairs with the ball, please.
And also how to grow. One of the things that the Tanya brings about is, or the very, very basic of the Tanya, the very idea behind it, is it details and explains the human soul and aligns the good attributes versus the attributes that oppose them, and how a person can utilize all the forces and the abilities he was given or she was given in order to succeed in Avodas Hashem and make use of the life we were given as a gift. We'll start right from the very beginning. The very beginning is the basic of the Tanya. What is the Tanya? We learn in the Brisa, in the end of the third parak of Nida, Mafartek Nida, Mashbi'in Oisoi Teyetzadik Val Teyirosh. The person before the neshama goes into the body, it says you should be a righteous person and do not be a wicked person. But I want to concentrate on the very first word is the key to the entire Tanya. Mashbi'in otu. He is given an oath, which means that a person is given, as we know that the Gemara says that the soul agrees to that which will take place in its life in this world. And Neshama maskemet lema sheikra. It's like you're sitting there and you're shown the movie of your life, what's going to take place, and you sort of have to sign on the dotted line, say, all right, you're sending me down in this and that day, a car will almost run me over. That day, suddenly I'll get a sister, it will be a great joy to the rest of my life. It details everything that a person would see and would live through and experience in this planet. In other words, when our neshama when the child comes out of its mother's womb, it knows everything in its subconscious. It's seen that life already. Sometimes if you look at the child's eyes, you see the child has the eyes of a wise old man. I remember distinctly that one of my friend's wife gave birth to a child named Pinchas, and you looked at it, you said, this guy's been around, he's been around, and he's a very capable young boy, and he would set the table when he was 4. It was Thursday night. It was a very sweet experience to see. And he grew into to be a really a very wise and smart and capable young fellow. But the point is, Moshbi'in otu. The word Shvuah has everything in it. When I come to you and I say, Sir Chaim Tri, I am giving you this beautiful neshama, and I am putting you in charge of this incredible treasure. You can go and make this world a better place. This is the line of life you're going to have. These are the occurrences you're going to go through. And I'm giving you an oath, making you say, I will take everything you give me and I'll do the best that I can to make it go better. The other side of this word could be also in Israel, masbi'im oto. Make him saturated. Sova in Hebrew is to be satiated. Masbi'in oto, says the Alter Rebbe, you give him from Shamayim all the koiches, all the strength and all the abilities to withstand and grow through whatever experiences you are given. This is the basis of the Tanya. I'm giving you an oath. This is the run you're going to run, and it could be extended, and it could be shortened by the action of the person. And this is the set of abilities and strengths and qualities and attributes I give you to make use thereof while you are going through this run of life. And therefore the Tanya basically is built around explaining how a person should accept that which happens around him, understand who they really are. Someone asked me, what does that actually mean? I said, look, you and I are Kohanim. Neither of us has patience for anything that you can sit down. What can you do? It's like a tennis ball is jumping in the stomach, and you can't stand nonsense. So Kohanim kapdanim him. They're very easy to get upset. So much so that there's a halachic rendering that a Kohen,
You're almost a Kohen.
that the Kohen should give when he Chas v'Shalom wants to divorce his wife. He has to give her a get mekushal. It has to be tied and done in such a way that it could be annulled, because they would get upset, and if she would cook too much the pot. It's just an
Kohen takes a
example.
longer time to get divorced than a regular person.
Yeah. There is. Yes, that's part of it. It goes together. So that's this kind of the idea is that the basic idea here is we all have a struggle.
Right.
No one escapes. No one, but no one escapes that struggle. And therefore, the both ideas of the same word in the Tanya here, mashbi'in, umasbi'in, is a necessity. Because when you are given an oath, you sign on the dotted line, I am obliging myself to do the best I can to retain that neshama you gave me pure, and to do everything you say despite of all the trials and tribulations you'll put in my way. If the oath is necessary, you can see that, because sometimes it happens, as I see, unfortunately here quite a bit. Let's dedicate the shiur to the refuah shlema of Rabbi Shvei. What's his name? Aaron Yaakov Ben Bunya, refuah shlema. And everybody who needs a wife, including myself.
Yaakov Ben Bunya.
Yeah,
Aaron Yaakov Ben Bunya.
L'chaim. No, divorce, מה פתאום? I had a great life with it. Passed away. I'm a counselor, a marriage counselor. Why should I divorce my wife? I'm the expert. I will not do. You know, I never forget it.
Everybody always thinks that you got divorced, and they all say he's a marriage counselor and he got divorced.
We told Chief Pastor L'chaim for Rabbi Aaron Yaakov Ben Bunya. We wish him speedy recovery, a refuah shlema, and that he will come back to answer people's questions. And I had an encounter with him. He's a very nice man, and we shall wish him all the best.
Talk about him in the present.
In the present, I am talking about him.
The
encounter was with him. He's a very nice man. He is a very nice man. He's a very nice man, and we wish him that he'll be.
Every time
I wish that he'll be well enough to appreciate just one for me.
We see him full
You should tell me.
Amen.
present.
L'chaim to
You should
the
ask him
rabbi.
the third time free, no? You get-
Forever need the shield of Shem to provide him with all the
Everybody who needs money
assistance.
should have money. Everybody who needs happiness should work on it to get it. So we have here, in the very first line, the essence of the way a person should live their life. And the Alter Rebbe says, you gotta look at this Brisa from Nito, and it says there like that. I am giving you a whole run of issues, and sometimes things that seems from the outside very small are very difficult for the person within. Therefore you need the oaths side of this.
Hey, where you going?
He has to go to class.
Where are you
To
going?
go away?
He needs to do some more.
Where are you going?
But he came in.
Came
To
in.
say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you and I come get up in the morning. Said the Alter Rebbe, yes, it's true. I get up in the morning these days. I look at the wallet, it's so thin, you know, I decided there's nothing to look at. So don't look. But, and I'm not married, you could take it that way. And I'm here in New York, who never knows, I can't succeed or can't, it's not an issue. Moment you get up, you are obliged by your own oath to Hashem to do the best you can, no matter what the circumstances are. On the other hand, he is saying to you, in the same way, you are obliged and I'm obliged to give you the abilities to do that. The strength, the ways, the people, the situation, everything you need. You are given so much power that you associate it.
Must be it.
Must be. What's the difference with you? Give me one of those. Or Rabbi should eat too. No?
Yeah, of course. What do you want, the corn?
Yeah, one with the corn.
Yeah,
The
this one.
point is
Green.
that this is not a light statement. Hashem is obliging,
No, it's green.
But take it from me. Take it from me.
obliging himself
Which color is it?
for you.
Yeah.
That everything you need will be there.
No, it's not. Is that
And
green?
here is another point.
No, it's not green.
Why
It's
is it
green.
called must be?
Yeah.
You associated
Drink.
because always people think they need
Hannah,
more.
you have to be quiet now. We're learning, okay? You want to be?
People
wanna be
always
here?
think
Be
that
quiet.
they need more.
I'm going here.
No, I'm here.
Mom,
There's a girl stepping on.
She wants to get the green,
The corn.
the corn.
I'm here.
I'm going to.
You made a bracha?
I want to practice. Practice run. The point is that when there's not just like when you have all of a sudden a change, chas v'shalom, an accident, an illness, just where you know why. My father Rabbi Maon, passed away in a sudden way. Well, he had diabetes and heart issues, therefore. But for me, he passed away all over a sudden. That's it. I got a phone call from my brother-in-law, he better come back to Israel. I was in Canada. Your father passed away. How nice. The next day was my birthday. Very nice of him. That was short and sweet. No. I was born in the And therefore, this is a real blow.
According to
So you can understand that you will need to be satiated with strength, inner strength, to withstand such a loss. But be over that. We are not talking about outstanding events such as this. The actual fact is that the routine is the hardest part of life. Hardest part of life is to be a Jew in a regular, hot and humid day in New York. That's the trick. That's the real, where you really need this satiation, this power, this strength, inner strength, ruchni strength to be able to keep your routine, the day-to-day routine, to come on time to daven, to do all the mitzvahs, to eat properly, to finish the brachas, to make sure that you learn what you need to learn, to keep every day is the real issue.
Not your daily schedule of work or whatever, your daily ruchni schedule.
That is the reason you came to this world. It says in Samech Vav, the Rebbe Rashab says there. I showed it to a friend of mine who runs a restaurant, always talking about debts, money. I said, it says there that the person has a business. It says the word esek, business. So that he can give money to his children, to go to their institutions, to his wife, to buy proper food, for Torah and mitzvahs. The whole business world is only a reason and exists only. Kesef is from the word kisufin, to yearn. That's one of the things that you are right. This is one of the issues.
It's by the way, considered the Chassic and tzedakah to support the wife and kids.
It's tzedakah.
Yes.
Rambam, it is as the highest level of tzedakah.
Right.
As the age of 6, you don't have a demand to kiss her. When you do that, remember one day somebody told me he's not quite sure how to behave with his older son, who's just finished, no, he's just turning bar mitzvah, he did very well, in Talmud Torah, and she was Tanya, he going to Shvistana, the boy wants a bicycle and he's not sure that it should be something, this kind of boy wants a bicycle. I said, you don't understand. If you say to the boy, you're from and we're from, you have a bicycle, 2 years, no payas. 3 years, no hat. 4 years, pride. If you tell him you want a bicycle, you earn the right to buy it, I'm with you. But you should know, my dear child, that a person like you, it's better for them to spend time learning than riding on the bike. Let him have the feeling that you're with him, but you suggest to him a better way to do something that is more suitable to him. The boy was happy. He accepted his father's wish. He learned, and then the next time they had in the yeshiva, in Yeshiva Skype, some kind of a competition over who learns more, he won a bicycle. I mean, he got a much better bicycle than before. He comes home, not riding it, walking. He says, Abba, these 2 wheels don't interest me.
Take.
And he says, we'll make a
Thank
trade.
you.
We'll give it to the store and get, I didn't know, make it something else. And he got a standard for learning instead of it. Because we all have that ability. We all have the ability to make the right decision. And that's right, that's only possible because Hashem gave us both the oath, mashbi'in oto, to be responsible for what we do, and both the koiches to do that. It's not that you're going to be put on trial because if you make an aveira. Aveira, somebody told me, is Mishon Aval. It's gone. The past. It went, it's gone. Mitzvah is in the Hove, in the here and now. It stays. Mitzvah is a now and the Aveira is gone. So, this is the trunk, so to speak, on which the Alter Rebbe builds the whole way of the Tanya and tells you, listen, we are coming into this struggle, this war with Yetzer Hara, with 2 elements which are basically the 2 sides of the same idea. And the idea is, yes, you can. If you look at the Rebbe himself, what are we doing here with it? We're not going to say something about the Rebbe. The Rebbe never used the negative. The Rebbe would say Hepech HaToiv. The Rebbe would say Hepech HaChaim. Opposite. He would not say the word. Tell you a nice story. The Rebbe wouldn't say bad things. He wouldn't issue because when a tzaddik says something, it's a decree. The son of came the son of the Aryeh Levin, the famous tzaddik from Yerushalayim. If you talk about Shalom Bayis, Aryeh Levin went with his wife to, the doctor says, her food hurts us. And therefore, and he meant it. And the doctor
He was the father-in-law of Rabbi, one of the rabbis.
We're talking about Aryeh Levin's son. He was some kind of a comedian, I don't know. He came and made a tour and would end up just before Pesach by the Rebbe to take the matzahs for his father. So he comes, he stands in line, and the Rebbe would prepare for every rabbi in Israel. You know, he chose every matzah and it was wrapped, special package. Amazing. The Levin boy comes, and the Rebbe doesn't say anything to him. He's like, ich will die Matzes von meinem Tate, I want the Matzes from my brother. No response. Third time the Rebbe comes, takes a few matzahs, puts them in the bag, gives them without making the whole avoida before. Wishes him a safe trip. And then Denise found out his father just passed away, but the Rebbe wouldn't say. When the Rebbe wouldn't give him those matzahs, his father was no longer alive, but he wouldn't tell him. Time. So how does it affect us in practical life? This is a practical book. This is a book of life, how to live like a person. You have an oath. If you have an oath, you feel obliged by it. You have an allegiance to the United States of America. Are you going to fly tomorrow to Moscow to sell all the secrets you don't know? No, you think many times over of somebody, well, politicians are not the best example, but somebody gets into an office and he has an oath. It's not so likely he's so quickly going to break it. All the more so when the oath is klape shmaya. You have a shvuah. You didn't ask for it. It's not that you come voluntarily and say, listen, Mr. Hashem, I like that neshama you gave me. I'm going to sign you on a guarantee paper on it. No. You are sent down here be'al kol chacha, against your will. The neshama does not want to go down.
That's why you cry when you come out.
And you see what's going on there? My mother said I was completely quiet. I was, what's this? And you don't want to go back to it, just come out.
You were in shock, so you were quiet.
If the baby doesn't cry, they smack the baby.
Right. Because they have to hear.
No,
have
for
to
the lungs.
make sure it breathes. Have to make sure it's breathing.
Make sure the lungs are open.
I looked at the doctor, but I said, look, he didn't touch me.
Now they said until 36 weeks they can kill the baby. I saw on your...
No, it's fake.
What?
Fake news.
What? All the 6 babies that came out, or 7, 8
No,
babies?
36 weeks.
No, it was fake. It was a fake article.
I sent you that, I think.
It's fake.
Right? How many babies came out?
It's not 36. Oh, that's different. No, they're saying 36 weeks.
They can kill the baby
Until 36 weeks.
Oh, no.
And that was fake news. Some Republican must have printed it and made a joke out of Bernie Sanders. They hold by 30 weeks, not 36.
Anyway, baby is notwithstanding. We are looking at a practical thing. How does it impact you in the practice? You get up. 5 minutes late, you're already thinking how you're going to get to the college, and this and that. New York doesn't have the lightest traffic volume in the world. It could be buses, trains, what have you. Your mind is in the first task and the first line of tasks. Even if the jogging is on a part of that list, it is a task. If you see it as a task, that's what is really the idea of this mingling of Shvuah v'Saveh, that you're saturated, you're full of energy. You're doing everything b'chayus. Saturation of the soul and the koichas you're given is not that you can do it. It's the way you do it. Even more than that. You are 2 things. Listen, you've taken a serious oath here. And you said, and when you were going to the army, and you have to sign and make all kinds of declarations, and they stick this thing in your hand, my friend, it kills. A God, it kills.
Somebody wants to know why you didn't make a bracha on the drink you drank before.
My name?
You made.
What is this, bracha police?
I don't know. Somebody's watching the video, keeps commenting on every question about you say. I keep answering, but this is...
The point really is that means that you are responsible for your actions, but you're given every ability to do them correctly, and you're not judged if you had missed. That's not the issue.
If you what?
If you have missed, chet is to miss. L'chto is to miss. Misuse the godly energy you gave, you received.
Yeah.
Over this comes the idea of soba, saturation. Chayus. There's another issue here. The word savea is the word esed, little piece of grass. Every little piece of grass, yeah, has a malach that give you the knack, grow. What does it all amount to? Self and knowledge. Self mudot atzmi. You are aware of yourself. You are aware of yourself. You don't do everything because of these two issues of the oath and the saturation of the koiches you get. You are becoming self-aware. When you put the straps on the tefillin on your head, you should not be thinking of the train you're going to miss in a half an hour. First of all, it could be delayed. Hashem is with you. Don't forget that ever. And when you become self-aware of the oath, who's the oath given to? God Almighty. Who's giving you all that koyach? God Almighty. Awareness of yourself is awareness of Hashem. Being close to Hashem is good for me. What is toiv? It pulls you out and says you have the upper hand. And it's a known sicha. The Rebbe say, actually enters the moment. Says, Ki teitzeh lemilchama al oivecha. You're going to war, you're above your enemy to begin with. And everything is two-faced.
I know what happened. Stop crying.
What's the outcome of all this? I mean, it sounds very nice, but in practical terms, it's very hard. If you turn the Ra, to air, awake, it becomes part of your avodah rather than disturb you in it. In the end of all this, or the purpose of this, is when you wake up in the morning, Yetzirah does to you three things. What are you doing? Your body hurts, you're tired, you stuffed it with all this good stuff yesterday, and there you go, wash your hands. Another 5 minutes, 15, 28, okay, don't distrain, you get the next one. Anyways, the only sucker always comes early to work. He talks and talks because he knows you better than yourself.
It happened to me this morning. I'm waking up. It's about 6:45, whatever. I don't know. I'm waking up. All of a sudden, his Hara shows up and says, "Listen here, Ellie. I have no problem with you getting out of bed."
That's what he says. No problem at all.
No problem. But what's the rush?
Yes.
I said, yeah,
That's
right.
the rush.
I said, you're right.
Where are you running to?
Another 15 minutes. All right. I'm trying to turn over on the other side for 15 minutes. Next the top shows up and says, listen here. Ellie, we know quite well it's not going to be 15 minutes. You won't make it to shul. We know it's going to be an hour.
What's going to happen.
You're right, I said to him. All right, let me get out of here. The HR shows up again. He says, listen here. Just 15 minutes, come on, I'm just in the rucha, 15 minutes, don't make a big deal out of it, All right, 15 minutes, It's a dumb shit we get, Ellie, listen here, it's not going to be 15 minutes. Finally I says, listen, if you guys fight it out, I got a million to catch.
That's the Jewish response. Anyways, whoa, food. Food, Yetzirah shows up in a plate. Anyways, I want to tell you a beautiful story, which I saw it in one, the Sichos Shavua, until Nun base, they were putting...
Right, I can't get another plate though.
Yeah, plenty of plates.
Oh, you got one?
Plenty of plates. Take one.
That's a little dirty. You got another one?
You were going to put it in this place? Or
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah.
And this place is on top of it. On top of it.
Oh my God! Look at.
Stop crying. Want me to get bowls? You want bowls? I'll give you bowls.
Don't I get, next time I go to Petersburg, I get 3 more?
It's only a bowl. So the story goes like that. One of the great people in Russia goes out in the morning, 5 o'clock, to dunk in a hole in the ice. Where did they have their... It wasn't exactly mikvah meal. You know? Not exactly.
Not exactly, huh?
I will tell you, every time I go to mikvah, how many things I can't help it. I have 2 towels and 2 hangers and the whole to-do.
It's being spoiled.
No, it's just the way I am. I have it. Thank you very much. The point is, this tzaddik goes to dunk in the hole, 5 in the morning, Russia, cold, freezing, and Yitzhahara starts saying, Rabbi, you're getting older, you're getting tired, your bones ache, nishmartem of shoysachem, so you won't go, there's something there. And he explains to him as a hater, you can get, according to halachically, in Hajj Yisrael, you can get this for this. You have every reason in the world. Every reason in the world to watch yourself not going down. But at the end of the conversation, the tzaddik goes and he dunks in the frozen hole, and it's a lot of work to get the eyes open. On the way back, he says to his Yetzar, I have to tell you, whatever it is, you gave me very good svaras. You spoke very well. You did. Yeah, there was a real Torah discussion you gave me. Says Yetzar, what do you want? For the last 30 years, you taught me the Beis HaMikdash. I learned something. But they went to the home. So the awareness is both to the Shvuah and to the satiation. Thank you. You are not... Yeah, man.
Talk about you.
Oh, they see you picking up the crackers.
They say, why keep stuffing his face every 5 seconds?
Because I'm the only guy you see. You should see everybody else.
Let me turn it down.
You also sign up from brother?
I do.
No.
Where's Florence tonight? I don't know. I'm going to California soon, actually. You go to California?
Oh,
I think
so
tomorrow.
tonight?
What's the occasion?
Huh?
What's the occasion?
I don't know, his family.
Is family gone?
Is there already, I think.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, his sister lives there.
Oh, they're going to visit us.
In any case, this is something that talks about us in a very real way. If you want to be aware of yourself, if you want to have a good life, you always have to remind yourself
It's going to be what?
that you are obliged,
I'll come by then.
you are obliged by what you have to do on one hand, but you are given the abilities to do it. That's awareness.
I'm going much later.
And how does it
Maybe
work?
come
Over
to
the
first
years,
and then we'll get going.
being that you know yourself, you know your Yetzer.
Huh?
זה לאום עשה ברא אלוקים.
I'll do
הקדוש
that.
ברוך הוא created us זה, that's עניין of אלוקות in עולם האצילוס, and the לאום עשה, it's merely a mirror. All what we call the negative traits are nothing in and of themselves. We're merely a mirror to the actual abilities that you have. Some people are more studious. Some people are more directed in what they do. Some people are very relaxed in what they do, and therefore when they come to a crisis situation, they remain relaxed. These things are neutral. It's how you use them. And in the moment you understand that you have an oath to be a tzaddik, to do good, and not to be a rasha, it's not that you're taken to court. Listen, you sneezed in the middle of a midah the other day. You dreamt. There's a story about the Baal Shem Tov, and once in Shachris. At the end, he looked around and he said to this guy, Bruchim Abayim. To the other guy, he says, Derech Tzleicha. And there is a rabbi, we're all here, says, no, you were in Paris in your mind, and you are just planning a trip to Leipzig to the big fair. You weren't here because your mind wasn't here. And another thing that we
Anushka, I want to talk in the other room.
and is another thing that's directly related to that. The two places in which Yetzirah fights with us, there's two things in Ruch needs.
What happened to you?
Why don't you just help him instead of letting him leaning over the table? Everything okay?
She's gonna say.
I have to. I
Say a few more comments now.
You didn't like the way I give up.
Be careful.
Okay, Maidlach, you have to be quiet.
Oh, what happened?
Be careful.
Why are you guys fighting?
Maidlach. Hey, listen. Maidlach, if you want to play, you have to play in the other room. Here we're eating only. What?
So the issue really is, there are two places, this is all 2 points in our life that are directly related to this. The war between us and the Sahara takes place in 2 occasions, mainly. When we are davening, which is a spiritual type of food, it says, Sh'ata de tzlos soisa sh'ata de krav. The time of davening, Amida, is the time of war, because that's where you get your spiritual sustenance, and therefore Yetzirah comes to take what it needs to survive by what? Distracting your mind in all kinds of strange thoughts. And the fact is, how do you know Yetzirah is a big idiot? We'll see what he thinks in the middle of the Amida. And as Alter Rebbe, this is one of the biggest chidushim the Alter Rebbe was mechadesh. But machshavos zayros are only, not because you're not a good person or not concerned with it, but this is the time of the war. Because you concentrate and because you want to reach that level that you can connect to Hashem and receive the sustenance from Him, there is a war. And the other time is food, bread. You eat at the edge of the sword. The same thing. Notice how many times, like that's one of the things I always try to stop. Your mind wanders when you eat. It wanders when you eat.
Right. Your mind wanders when you eat.
Because you're not concentrating on the purpose of eating. That's where Yetzirah steals all these nutrients to each side.
Right.
Because when you're concentrated, you're self-aware, you are satiated in the sense of you know what you're doing, you are aware of it. Why you're eating is to serve Hashem, and what it is to you. What are you doing? Making a bracha. And how you eat? Slowly.
But
You
sure.
sit down.
In other words, when you eat, he tries to bother you because the eating is to serve Hashem.
But he wants to take his part.
He wants to take his part. Right. That's the whole thing.
And therefore it says, Tzaddik, oichel lesoivar nafshoi.
Wow.
To the satiation of his soul.
Right.
Now satiation is not an amount, but the way you look at things. The way you're directed, Muna, what you're actually doing. You sit down to eat. I remember when I met my wife, I was a rather wild Israeli. Not exactly, sitting and relaxed when I'm eating and all this. The first thing she said, sit down. Alea Shalom, dedicated to Elias and Neshama, Tziporas Baseliyahu, Alea Shalom, who brought me here. And she was the main force behind everything that Baruch Hashem managed to accomplish. Of course, the Rebbe, but she brought me to Chabad. She came here. She gave me everything that a woman can and more. This is where it's at. Mashbi'in oiser. That you sit here and eat. You eat to sustain your body, not to pleasure Your mouth.
your body.
Your palate.
Sustain your soul.
Your soul.
Sustain your body in order to sustain.
What is Ochel? Connecting the soul to the body. The same soul you were given an oath, you gave an oath over, the same soul you are given those koiches to fulfill its mission in this world. That is the essence of the world. That's what goes on. It goes on in everything. It goes on in the way a person, you know, Ovasan Yetzar is the greatest tzaddik in the middle of davening. He says, when we look over this Tanya, you know, Rabbi Weinberg, Alav Shalom, gives a very good explanation. 11:30, 12. You're still not davening because you're looking at a meaning, full word in Bereshit, or learning a sing of the Rebbe. Aye, this is the tricks that Sahara plays on you when you're not aware. When you become aware, it's a whole different thing. Yet Sahara, in the end of the day, is a servant and nothing else. It serves a purpose for us to overcome it. And then it becomes air, wake, alive. And it wants to get into all this. But it is an ongoing struggle. I haven't been too successful in getting up early a lot of times because the Bachurim wanted me to bring with them. And not me in 3, 4, 5. Today, 6:15, I was up. I charged to mikvah. Of course, I was stuck.
But the older you get, the less sleeping you
It's the other way around.
That's
The older you get, the harder to get up.
Our Melamed was 80 years old. He used to say that.
Ruben over here doesn't sleep more than 3 hours a night, and he's 60.
The older they get, the less sleep they
You all see these old people, they get up at 4 in the morning, they eat lunch, they eat supper at 4 o'clock. You know?
They go to sleep at 6 o'clock in the evening. Look at Florida, it's all quiet.
4 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, it's like you're dead.
But the thing is, when it comes to the struggle, the Yetzirah would use everything.
My grandmother is that she בחב"ד טהור, לפני שצריך להדליק אותו בכלל. Before they need to put on the light, she already shutting off the light. 7 o'clock she goes to sleep.
Everybody's a little different. It was on the training we got. But us as people, this is the essence of the struggle. 99% of what people do when they go wrong in their lives is lack of self-awareness. Take 770.
Go lie down in your bed, or I'll go do it. If you lie down in your bed.
It's the greatest place under the sun to be wild. You see someone spilling. You see someone spilling, open cigarette, you put yours on top of it.
You gotta be done with cups because there's no room, that's why.
Even if there is room. Because the place is so vibrant,
Everything goes.
I say, עומדים צפופים ודוחפים רווחים.
Right, that's right.
You know, the Gabbai once said that every year they take maybe 30 or 40 bags of coal for people. Forget everything you want.
This shepherd, I say.
They have a room downstairs that
watching the video.
they put all the coal
My hat.
Where did they go?
underneath the basement.
Well, what did they do with it?
Then they give it out to people once it's full.
Cherry.
It has to be Munachat Shavo Eliyahu. People will come, but
Why? Why would it have so many eyes?
It's downstairs. Downstairs.
Let's go.
I want my body.
In any case, it's not a criticism. It's just when you have these when you have a situation, when Yetzirah feels that he can confuse you, he will. You know yourself, right, Avram? You know exactly, Yad Ya'ish Benafshik. We all know exactly where our strengths are and where our weaknesses are. One of the decisions I made before I came here is not to have ice cream.
Before you came here?
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's
okay, you know.
You,
No, to brown eyes.
how can you survive without ice cream?
Very well.
Why that kind of ice cream?
Because I like it so much.
Ice cream?
Oh, there's a story with Rabbi Maon about ice cream. The Rabbi knows for sure. Nothing for
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that I know, and you know, where your weaknesses are. You know, if I start with one ice cream, sugar and weight are awaiting me.
Oh, בשביל היהודי.
And the point is that the way things should be looked at, I know that I will not, if I start with the ice cream, I just got off all the medication, and I just got myself out of all the situation, and I'm getting not younger, I can promise you that. And so if I will take care of myself by not starting with the ice cream, knowing full well that I like it very much and it's very tasty for me and all the above,
Right.
then I'm taking a risk that I'm not.
Okay.
I'm taking a risk that my well-being, spiritual and physical, will be hurt because I wasn't taking care of myself. And why are people getting heavy? They're sad. It's a sort of a compensation for loneliness, for self-doubt. But if you become aware,
Why are you laughing over that?
No. He's making fun of this guy again.
For me?
Because you don't stop eating for a second.
Who is that? Who's that
I don't know, it's his friend. He's making comments and stuff about this guy the whole time, the whole video.
Count on this here,
They
Rabbi.
post Sikpumen with this, huh?
You can count on me too if you want. Hold dicht van
No,
Jezus.
don't put the camera
Hold
on.
dicht van
Tim, you're invited to come and eat with us and
Hold
enjoy.
dicht van Jezus en Jego.
He's hungry probably, he's hungry.
What is that?
Not Pesach, but
Yes, dude.
hold dicht van Jezus en Jego.
We have to say יישר כוח for the Mrs. Peel. All the delicious food.
for giving her house, for giving her husband, giving the food.
Giving the kids to annoy.
Yeah. No. Kids don't annoy. They make you grow. You think you're making them grow? Forget it. They make you grow.
They make you
You
grow.
become a man,
Making you grow.
but they have to take care of them.
They make you grow as they grow.
And
As they grow, they make you grow.
and every time they cry, you're just developing. You know that? Evolving as a father.
אפשר את המלח שנייה?
Yeah.
But you have the cell phone.
My mic.
Just one second.
Anyway, let's sum this up. The Tanya, what does the Tanya mean? We'll just to say that the people know. Tanya's mean
Some kind of ignore.
not just that it says in the end, in the last brighter in the end of the third parak of Midah. Tanya also just because it's important footnote, so to speak. The word Tanya is a specific kind of a klippa.
What's the food there?
Tanya. The name is the name of a klippa that plagues Talmidei Chachamim. Especially in those areas of eating and speaking. Tanya means that a person can be a big Talmid Chacham, but he listens all the time to the Yetar say, you're a great person, you're wonderful, and then it starts when people recognizing you, and you should be getting more kavod and all this. This is the clip of Tanya. So if you think that Talmidei Chachamim are exempt from learning this sefer, they're not. It's written in 3 levels. To a person who's just starting to arm themselves in the war against Yetzer Hara, to the person who aspires to reach the level of a Beinoni, which we'll get to in the course of this lesson, God willing. Not today, but in following weeks. And the third level is for the Talmid Chacham, that he would not fall into the hole of this. I am a great person, I learned, and therefore I deserve honor in this world. And the most extreme example is Korah. Korah wasn't exactly. It says Ashir Kakorah. Secondary, he was smart, Pikei Achava. And the third, he was famous. People came to learn from him. So, and the fourth says Chassidus,